Welcome back. Something different today. I'm going to bring you initial impressions on the Durston X-Mid. I've headed out to a local area of mine where I can do this in a little bit of peace and quiet without having to travel too far, but I wanted to give my impressions or first thoughts on what I think of this tent. So first of all, I'm going to get it set up. So this is the package the X-Mid comes in, roughly around about 875 grams all in, with stakes as well. What you need in order to pitch this is 2 trekking poles. These are going to provide the support inside. One of the key elements when pitching the Durston X-Mid is to make sure you have a good rectangular shape to help. In terms of the trekking pole, the interesting part with the X-Mid is that it goes tip up. There's some grommets in there which the tip will sit into. Now another positive which I like is the ability to control how high the X-Mid is, depending on the type of weather that you're in. So in essence, if you are in stormy weather and you're caught in it, you are able to drop it ever so slightly and tighten everything down to try and give you the best storm worthiness that you possibly can. For the sake of this, I'm going to be looking at around about 120 centimetres. There's also a buckle on the bottom here to stop any kind of zip runaway when it's windy, which is an excellent addition, and bungee cord on these. So that is the tent all set up now. I've opted not to put any of the guys out because it's not a windy day. You don't really need them. You can envisage what it looks like with those on. There is some vents. There's a vent on this side with a little toggle. And then also on the opposite side there is the same. Again, the ability to peg these out, you can do that as well. Along the bottom as well, I've added some extra guy onto here, and the same along the rest of the outs. This is actually the second generation X-Mid, which is increased in size by 30% in interior volume, and also to increase the storm worthiness of this with additional guy out panels on the side here on both sides. These and also these. It is a PU coated 20 denier, and I believe it's a 2,500 hydrostatic head in terms of waterproofness, so more than enough. On each of the doors they use waterproof YKK zippers, and obviously a reinforced part here for where the pole tip goes. So for me personally, this is one of the most spacious one-person tents that I've used under 1 kilogram. You can see it has a solid inner for the UK. This is a new version. It has mesh and this partial solid part to promote airflow at the top here, but also in more harsher conditions it's going to prevent that coming into the inside. So let's take a look inside. So inside the tent, bags of room, plenty height, and you can see I've got a little bit of room down the bottom of my feet. And if I turn you around, you can see I've got plenty room for my head. I'm around about 5'10", so make of that what you will, but you've probably got another 6-7 inches above. So this is the volume inside the tent. Bags of room, as you can see, and then the same vestibule space is on the opposite side. One of the most interesting things with the Durston X-Mid is the design of the tent. So the trekking poles are actually diagonally opposite, which gives it its unique design. So that means the sleeping area actually moves diagonally across the tent, so it isn't a straight, and that's actually really important to think about when you're pitching the tent. So wherever you pitch it, you've got to think the inner is diagonal across the length of the tent. Okay, so my initial impressions. I do need to make a confession first and foremost. I have been sent this as a gift to test. In no way have I been told what to say about the tent. I've been free to make my own claims and my own opinions on how I feel this tent is going to perform, and these are my initial impressions. So the X-Mid one is a very, very storm-worthy tent. It's stood up to 45-mile-an-hour winds so far. I've had out in snow and rain with no real issue. My biggest concern are the side panels, and that's probably why Durston themselves consider this a 3-season tent opposed to 4-season. There's a lot of debate on that, but it divides opinions, and that's absolutely fine. Everyone's entitled to their own. For me, if you are knowingly heading out into bad weather, this probably isn't the tent to take out. However, if you are caught out in bad weather and you're able to pitch in a sheltered position and make use of it, then absolutely it's a brilliant tent. Craftsmanship is top notch. You can see the effort and the ingenuity that's been put in to build this, and you know, so far I am very, very impressed and can't wait to give it a good test and get out a few more times and be able to bring you guys a review. Now, the pros and the cons, I think the first pro is weight, 875 grams all in, plus your trekking poles, and any additional stakes that you want to bring is a great base weight. The design creates space. For me, I like to be organised when I'm out, so having somewhere to be able to put my bags and be able to cook and store all your kit is of paramount importance. Areas of improvement, like I said before, in terms of guy outs and side performance, I'd probably like to see some additional guys on the sides here to help support that in wind, just if it's needed. And in terms of the zippers, dual zippers for me are a little bit of a must to be able to peek out and see. You know, having to lie down and get out and unzip this is a little bit of a faff. Whereas if you can just drop that down, that would be ideal. You could use the peak here, but if you haven't got it open, then you cannot use it. But all in all, a very, very good tent. One point I do need to address as well is cost. At $269 at time of recording, that is relatively cheap for a tent of this quality. Obviously, if you're within the UK, you need to think of things like import tax, so that could be a deciding factor whether this tent is for you. But if you can pick it up in the second-hand market, then I would recommend purchasing this tent for 3-season to 4-season use. So in conclusion, initial impressions are absolutely brilliant. Very, very impressed. Happy with this. I am going to continue to bring you more initial impressions. So I've got a couple of the items that I'm going to be reviewing after some extensive use. So just to clarify, this is not a review. This is initial impressions after 3 to 4 uses. I will use this extensively and then bring a full review. And that's going to be a staple of the channel as well. So, what do you guys think? Drop a comment down below on your thoughts about the Durston X-Mid. Have you got one? And what's your thoughts on its performance? And until next time, guys, peace out.